it really boils down to really knowing your woman at the end of the day. I don't think you should ever have to ask permission. You can tell her what you're doing for sure if you want to, but if you really know your woman, then you kind of know what to do and how to maneuver, what she's gonna like, what she's not gonna like, and then you can make decisions based off that.
Don't ask for permission.
The guy in the video, his overreaching point was about trust, like Ricky mentioned. That's really all he's really saying, you know. But think about it, man. And as men, let's not get too caught up on words. You know, that's kind of what women do. So he's using permission, and that's a trigger word. That's almost triggering for some men the way submission is for women. Oh, permission. Who? I'm not gonna ask, but consult, inform, collaborate. You know, when things affect the quality of life of other people, you typically want to consult, inform, collaborate with them, because what your decisions that you're making affects those other people, and it affects their quality of life. So he's like talking about a dog, but if he's taking it, you know, he looks like he's somebody that might live in fucking, you know, North Dakota. So maybe just bringing another hound dog to the farm is no big deal, and he'll take care of it from there. But if you're talking about something like rearranging the living room furniture, or you know, repainting the entire kitchen, or buying a new car and adding a new car note to the family bills every month, simply because you got a raise, and you just saying, well, I ain't asking for no permission, I wanted to go out and get this on my own. It depends, man. You know, and that's why your mileage may kind of vary. You know, permission is what a lot of husbands fall into because they want to keep domestic harmony at home. And over time, they just say, man, let me just ask her, because if I don't, I may not have to ask her, but I ain't gonna get no pussy this week. She ain't gonna, I'm gonna get cold TV dinners. You know, shit, it's gonna be quiet rides home. And I don't want to deal with that. So it's better I ask and still get what I want anyway. It's just how you work your woman. How do you work your girl? So ultimately, you know, if you're the head of the household, does your girl trust you? That's what the whole question. That's exactly what Ricky was talking about. Is it about her trusting in the decisions that you guys make? Are you going to just change the damn dining room table because you found a sale at IKEA and you just want to change the shit out and it doesn't go with anything that she designed because maybe she designed it? That's kind of, to a degree, that's kind of fucked up. But are you going to stand on and say, well, it's just because I don't want to ask no permission? So as head of household, we move autonomously to make the right decisions to keep everybody safe and sound. But if we change in the quality of life of somebody else, you don't have to ask permission, but it's good to consult, because you know what? Your girl might know something that you don't know. You fuck around spending $1,000 and she had a $250 coupon. And it's like, damn. You spent $1,000, but Michael at my job had one for sale that's even newer than that, and he only wanted $750. But I didn't know, and you went out and did it without talking to me. So now we just wasted $250, and you got an older version. It's stuff like that. So Sean said, "I'm letting you know what I'm getting ready to do. Not, honey, may I?" Nah, we don't, fellas. We not the honey, may I type. We don't do that. Not masculine men. We are, hey, babe, let me tell you what I'm getting ready to do. What you think? No different than the president calls upon his cabinet to give him advice as to the policies that he may make a decision on the nation. Let me hear what you got to say. I want to hear from my economists. I want to hear from my statisticians. I want to hear from my defense secretary. I want to hear from everybody. And then he goes and makes a decision. That's how men should move.
Shan, it's no different than what we talked about on another episode. Once again, be stubborn with your vision, be flexible with the details. If I say we're trying to get from Dallas to DC, I can get your input on how we get there, but we're going to fucking DC. You feel me? At the end of the day, we're going to DC. Now, you tell me how you want to get there, what's going to be comfortable for you, but this is where we're going.
I made that drive. It ain't that bad.
I agree with everything Shannon just said. I just wanted to add one thing, which is I wanted to say, I think it also comes down to knowing your woman. And this is something that I learned from my dad, actually. Like, I remember when I was growing up, my dad would actually talk to me and be like, he was like, yo, watch this. He wanted to change the kitchen one time. Watch this. I'm going to tell your mother exactly what I want to do to the kitchen, and she's gonna say no. And he said, and she's gonna say she's not gonna like that. He said, I'm gonna do it anyway, and she's gonna love it. I thought he was crazy, right? He's talking to her about it at the dining table. She's like, I don't really like that color. I don't like this and that. I don't like that. He said, okay, cool. Little did she know he already bought the materials to get it done. It was all sitting in the shed. She had a trip coming up with work where she was like in Louisiana for like a week. As soon as he dropped off the airport, my dad got the sledgehammer out and started knocking shit down and doing construction. By the time she came back, the kitchen was completely different. When she came back, she was in love with it. And she completely said she wouldn't have wanted it. And it's like, we would have never got the kitchen changed ever because she was so attached to the way it was before if he didn't just knock it down and do what he thought was right. So I feel like it really boils down to really knowing your woman at the end of the day. I don't think you should ever have to ask permission. You can tell her what you're doing for sure if you want to, but if you really know your woman, then you kind of know what to do and how to maneuver, what she's going to like, what she's not going to like, and then you can make decisions based off that.
Well, for me, I don't agree with the permission stuff either. I'm all about running by her or consider her. You know what I'm saying? Consider her feelings. Like you said, you just got to know who you with and how she moves and how she acts and sometimes how she thinks. And so I would just consider her. You know what I'm saying? Be sensitive to what, her opinion, her input. Like you said, Shane, I don't want to miss out on that coupon that she might have had stashed away that's probably about to expire by next week, and I could use it. At $250 could go store something else good, maybe a new to get the dog his shots or whatever it needs, done.
Yeah, I think you guys made some good points, man. Kind of like what Shane said, I don't mind gathering information or different perspectives, but I'm gonna make the final decision. I think a wise man would have a few people around him that they could trust. I got 2 people around me that I trust, and I like hearing different perspectives because sometimes I may miss something. So I'm gonna run it past you, and I'm gonna see how it sounds, see if they thinking anything different, or maybe it might be something I might have missed, and I'm gonna make the final decision. The final decision always falls on me. So, but I do think people don't realize that it may be some things that you may not have seen or will never see. So whenever you encounter somebody like my best friend, he the person that holds me accountable. He the person that tell me about my shit. He the person that gives me a different perspective every single time. He's a trusted perspective. So whenever I need some insight, whenever I need to hear something different, I always go to him because I know that it's trusted. And that trust plays a key role when it comes to your decision making, when it comes to insight, when it comes to somebody filling in where it needs to be filled in at. So that's my thoughts on it.